Okay, kids. Do you know that you may be able to save a life? You're going to be so excited about today's lesson plan. Have you heard of organ and tissue donation and transplantation?
Miss Johnson, my mom packs tissues in my bag every day.
Not these tissues, dear. We're talking about body tissues such as skin, the middle ear, corneas, bone, blood vessels, blood and bone marrow.
One time, I got really bad head surgery. Grandpa's a nurse, and he said I had a tissue transplant.
Your grandpa is right. You all can't tell, but I'm a tissue recipient too. My vision used to be very cloudy because of cataracts. Let me show you this. My eye surgeon transplanted a cornea, which is
tissue!
Yes, into each eye. Now I can see your pretty faces again. Yay! So now you know how tissues enhance lives. Let's talk about how organs save lives.
But where do these organs and tissues come from?
Great question. They come from living and deceased donors. Deceased meaning they're no longer alive.
Ew!
Now, we must show respect and be grateful for these heroic donors and their families. Can you imagine the number of lives a deceased donor saved? Think about it. Only a deceased donor can give a heart. When a patient's brain stops sending messages to the organs, example, telling the heart to pump blood or the lungs to breathe, organs no longer work to keep that patient alive. After tests confirm there's no brain activity, the organs can be used for transplantation if the person gave prior consent or the family members agree. Yes, it's a sad time for families losing a loved one, and for the doctors losing the patient too. But hey, here's the good part. Donation gives families an opportunity to make their loved ones heroes by giving their organs and tissues to those in need. Many families say this final act of kindness always brings them comfort.
Heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, small intestines, and pancreas.
And all of these organs are transplantable.
Miss Johnson, when I was 5 years old, I was sick a lot. The doctors told my parents I was born with a kidney disease.
Thank you for being so brave to tell your story, Candace. I bet you can tell us what the kidneys do.
Yes, I can. Kidneys remove waste from our bodies when we urinate. You know, pee.
Kidneys do what?
Mine couldn't do that anymore, Carlos. Water stayed in my body and made me look swollen. The awful stuff that they call toxins in my body made my breath smell bad and kids didn't want to play with me. I had to have a treatment called dialysis. It made me angry and I cried a lot because I had no friends. At first, my dad used to hook me up to a machine every night that would clean up my blood while I slept.
Class, that's called peritoneal dialysis.
After I got several infections, my doctor switched me to hemodialysis. They do that at a dialysis center or hospital, not at home. How does that one work?
One needle pulls dirty blood out of the body and passes it through a machine, and another needle puts the clean blood back into the body.
I had it done 3 times a week for 3 hours each time. While this was going on, my doctors put me on a transplant waiting list, but waiting can take years, even if you get one. There aren't enough kidneys to go around.
Oh, I'm sorry you had to go through that, Candace.
Oh, I don't anymore. When my neighbor, Miss Sornigo, found out my parents couldn't give me one of theirs, she became my donor and gave me one of her kidneys. You only need one kidney, you know.
A kidney from a Native American? She's a different race.
My mom says there's only one race, the human race. My family is very grateful for Miss Sornigo for being so kind to us. I'm an organ recipient now. I play sports and everything. And I get awesome grades too.
Stop showing off, Candace. I'm sure glad I wasn't born with kidney disease so I don't have to worry.
Candace, you are so mature and smart. I feel like I'm talking to a superstar. We are so proud of you. And to think, we couldn't even tell you've been through all of that. And Mariana, not so fast. Many African Americans suffer from high blood pressure and diabetes, often leading to organ failure later in life. Many of those who are on the transplant waiting list are people who look just like us. Always remember that your parents are helping to protect your kidneys and other organs when they encourage you to eat less salty and starchy foods and drink healthy drinks instead of sugary ones. And if we exercise more, fewer of us will suffer from organ failure and need transplantation. So, children, are we going to make a positive difference?
Yes, Ms. Johnson.
Great job. Now, round of applause for living donor Miss Soaring Eagle for doing such an honorable thing and helping to save Candace's life.
And another round of applause for living and deceased donors and their families.
Let me show you how adults can indicate their desire to give the gift of life. It's very important for would-be donors to let their family members know their choice.
Why?
Another great question. It makes it easier for family members to honor the wishes of their loved ones. And kids, you know that seatbelts save lives too, so buckle up, okay? This has been a wonderful lesson, jam-packed with information. Let's do a quick recap. Tissue donation does what for recipients?
Improves lives.
And organ donation does what for recipients?
Saves lives.
Now you give yourselves a round of applause. It is important to remember that without people saying yes to donation, there's no transplantation. And if we were in need, we would want someone else to give us the second chance, right?
Yes, Ms. Johnson.
Now here's a catchy tune.
Let me bring smiles and blessings to the precious lives I'll save. I don't need organs where I'm going. Share my tissue when I'm gone. Give the gift of life to the suffering and help them to live on. When my spirit glides to heaven on sweet Gabriel's wing, 'twill be a win-win situation, and I'll say, death, where is thy sting?